Doing? Ah, dear. It's going to be hopefully an interesting live today. I don't know how much I have to say, honestly, but I'm sure there'll be things to talk about. For example, I tried something for the first time yesterday or 2 days ago now, which was a very interesting experience indeed. So I'll tell you about that. We also had my first proper dab session yesterday, which was awesome. So I can talk about that. We also had a really good interview with Steve Rolls from Transform on the show, LCUK show, which was out today at 4:20 p.m. So that was good. Decent interview. Quite a few people stuck around to watch it. Well, quite a few. It was like 7 people. That's quite good for my channel. So yeah, interesting stuff. Lots of legalization talk came out of Steve. So it was really cool to have that conversation on my channel, with a proper legalization activist, proper bona fide from an organization and all that stuff, a proper charity that campaigns for drug legalization and regulation. Transformdrugs.org. They've got a website, they've got a foundation, charity. So yeah, welcome to the live. One person, how you doing? I've decided to skip off putting my own music on because I'm getting a bit bored of it until I come out with a new album. And then we can have a mixture of different types of stuff. Yeah, I'm getting a bit bored of the old album, honestly. It's just like the same songs round and round again. Although they're good songs, I've got some better ones, in my opinion, better around the corner. So I might come out with that album this week because we've got a little bit of space between the LC UK shows. I might be able to shove out a new album on Wednesday, for example. Yeah. And it'll be all rocky stuff as usual, but there'll be some acoustic niblets in there as well. Acoustic niblets. Acoustic niblets. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. So, adverts on YouTube. Annoying. Yeah, I'm drinking an energy drink a little bit late on in the day, to be honest, but I am going to probably go out. I think I should go out again today. Rada. Hello, Mr. X. How you doing? Yeah, good. 16 people all of a sudden. That's weird. Oh, that does happen. People just go whoosh, swiped in. How are you doing, people? Hey, Mr. X and Alan Pensado. Sando, sorry. Rada. Krishna. Shiva. Rama. Sita. What is this? It's a live broadcast. Doing good, bro. Thanks. Yeah, nice. So you wanted to talk to me about some new enterprise you want to be getting on with, eh? Technically, all chicken nuggets are dino nuggets. Yeah? Where's that coming from? We're talking about nuggets? Chicken nuggets. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, man. I've got some stories to share today about my personal uses of certain things. Fucking interesting experience, man. Extremely strange. I don't even know if psychedelic is the right experience. How about we cover news from the medical cannabis world and much more things? Okay. Yeah, we can do that. There's always news in the medical cannabis world. Create some awareness. Yeah, I've got a podcast coming up at some point soon, all around that, raising awareness around medical cannabis and legalization of it further for recreational use. That's the angle I'm going to be putting onto it anyway from my end. I have some clips, I'll compile them and send your way soon. Yeah, cool. We can work on it together. Sounds good. How's the rest of you people doing? Perfect. Yeah, man, sounds good. I'm up for it. I've got space in my content schedule to put out more cannabis content. yeah, like I've caught up now with my content. I'm bang up to date with the present moment. As soon as I come up with a video, it's coming straight out. I have some videos of people getting good relief from cannabis. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that interview with Jim the Meadowman, where at the beginning he has like all his Tourette's tics, uncontrollable tics, and he takes some cannabis, medical cannabis, in the vaporizer, and the tics go right away, all the way down, very calm, soothes the guy, and stops him from, blurting out things. And what acoustic is it you play in your music shorts? What acoustic is it? It's this Tanglewood. Um, Discovery by Tanglewood, model DBT SFCE BW. Tanglewood, handcrafted. Discovery is the name of it. I'll put some eyes on it. So I believe guitars have a spirit and a soul, really, so they've got to have eyes to represent the soul in them. Yes, I'm into psytrance. Yeah, that's what's on in the background at the moment. Some progressive psytrance. Guitar's ever so slightly sharp all the way up. Right. Doom doo 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 doom. Anyway, sorry, I got carried away there. Well, that was nice. I shall work on that tune, and we can turn that into another crappy AI song. Sybient. I never heard of Sybient. You seem to have a good ear for it. Thanks. Hey, Abzifa. So yeah, I tried an interesting substance the other day. Had a really weird experience on it, man. I couldn't see my legs. My legs just disappeared from the whole of my consciousness. I was just like shuffling around like some kind of dwarf. I felt like I was a dwarf and a giant at the same time. My awareness became massive, just like expansive, cosmic, sort of cosmic consciousness type of expansion, man. Yeah, it was hectic. And so I took a little bit of it. I was like, nothing. And I took a little bit more, and I was like, maybe there's something. And I took a tiny little bit more, I think. And like 5 minutes later, I was like, something was going on indeed. Like this, my awareness completely changed from being sober and normal and be able to focus on things to just being like, I looked at my phone and it was this tiny little thing, this tiny little device, like a tiny little thing. And I was looking at it, I was trying to help this mate of mine get home, mentioning no names. And I was looking at the phone and he was like, can we get an Uber? And I was like, Uber? Uber. Uber. I had no idea what it meant. And I was like looking at my phone going, I don't even know what there's little squares on the screen that you're supposed to maybe find the right square on the screen to tap. Couldn't find the right one. And I was just like, fuck this. And he goes, is there an exit? And I was like, yeah. And pointing him to the toilet. And he went, is it no exit? And I was like, right, no, it's that one over there. Yeah, hopefully he got home okay. Apparently he did get home okay, so yeah, it was all good. But the experience of it was really odd. So this was a substance known as horse tranquilizer, also known as K wobble ketamine. So I tried this thing, and I don't think I'll be doing it again. Honestly, it wasn't really my cup of tea. It was just a little bit too intense. I wasn't expecting it to happen that quickly. I was expecting a bit of a build up to it. Like maybe it like kind of come on slowly and you can get used to that, and then it come on a bit more harder and then you can get used to that. But nah, man, it was just whoosh, rush. Like not even a rush, but hello. It was mental, um, totally mental experience. Like my awareness of seeing things got very choppy. Like everything was at a weird angle. Let's say everything was like a very strange angle all the time. Like, and this mate of mine had left the front door open when he left, and I don't know how I became aware of it. Maybe because my awareness was so expanded, I could hear the silence, like a crispy silence in the background. Yeah, tunnel vision. Yeah. Hello, THC3PO. Says Dad. Accusio. Tunnel vision. Yeah, definitely tunnel vision, man. And so I had to kind of get my way down the stairs to close the front door. And I was like, one step at a time, clutching onto the handrail, going like, I don't even know what I'm doing or why I have to do it, but I have to get down to the front door. Is someone watching me? Is like the universe watching me at this moment? Why is the reason why I have to go down? But I have to go down. Oh, the door's open. Why do I have to close it? I don't know. I had to close the door. And like I said, I couldn't see my legs. Couldn't see my legs, so I was like, right, okay, I just about sort of moved them a little bit at a time. Get down the stairs. I didn't fall over, luckily. Got to the door handle. I was like, right, close the door. And I sort of had this realization that at that point in time, after everything had been sniffed up, the police weren't going to have any interest in me whatsoever. So I was like, right, I'm safe now anyway, because no one cares. It's all gone. There's no possession anymore. It's all out of the way. So I felt like, right, I can enjoy this experience now. And another aspect of it was I sat in my chair to do a bit of meditation, yeah. So I sat in my chair, this chair here, and closed my eyes. Nothing much was going on in there. I thought there might be some visuals or something, but there weren't any visuals. And all of a sudden, like, whoosh, I went massive again. Like, my consciousness was just massive. There's no other way to describe it than I felt like I was way far behind my experience. Like I was watching the whole Everything I could see, I was watching it from miles and miles away, like infinite miles away, like millions of miles away. So, like, from beyond time and space, and from beyond birth and death as well. So I was like beyond birth and death at that point. So you could probably say that was like an ego death experience, maybe. But so my awareness was incredibly expanded, and everything in front of me was just tunnel visiony. Like I got, whenever I get super high on any subject on any substance, I try and do a bit of worship to see what the worship is like. So I got my picture of Shiva, and I got my Buddha wherever that is, and I tried to like focus on them. I couldn't focus on anything, man. I tried to read a bit of the Bhagavad Gita to see if that would have any impact on the experience. I could read about 5 words, which didn't make much sense, honestly, but I did go, ooh, yeah, okay. Interesting. Um, so I came to this kind of realization that there's a third state of consciousness beyond life, death, and birth. There's a third state of consciousness beyond life, death, and birth, rebirth, and stuff like that. So that's where I got to with that, and that was a decent revelation, you know. So there was something positive that came out of it, but overall, it was just far too experienced. It came over me far too quickly for comfort, and it wasn't exactly comfortable either. Like I wasn't feeling happiness. Let's say that it wasn't like a happiness-inducing feeling. It wasn't like a. There's a sensation of it being somewhat a processed drug. Like I could just something of the high felt like I was something technological about it, or robotic, or like AI even, like it was an AI high. It was odd. 22 people, wow, that's cool. So that was my experience with K. Tunnel vision, been there. I don't like K personally. People love a K hole. Yeah, I guess I did get into a K hole, but luckily it ran out after a couple of hours, and the come down was not exactly very interesting. The come down was just like worse than the trip itself, where everything started to become more sober. There was still a lot of wobbliness to it. Like I can see why they call it wobble, because you wobble around a lot. It's probably because you did it with a random geezer and not some friends you've known for a while in a comfortable setting. Yeah, I guess. Nothing wrong with a geezer. And nothing wrong with the setting. But maybe I took too much too quickly. You never know. So that's my experience. And then I had another experience of weed dabs yesterday, which was really good, actually. Really good experience of dabbing. I haven't really dabbed properly before. I tried one dab thing and it didn't go well. I had like hyperventilation. Felt like I couldn't breathe on this previous dab. But these dabs, I don't know what the difference was, but these were very high quality, very smooth, very pure. Like he had diamonds. And this person, I can say his name, I think, because he wants me to promote him. Monkey UK the Zoo. He's got a YouTube page himself. So Monkey UK the Zoo. I've done a little review of it on my channel already. But like, yeah, really good dabs, man. Like, so smooth. I didn't cough. I think I coughed once, and that was just like a like that. But I paced myself well on them as well. You know, the dabs. So they were so strong, man. It's like pure THCA, and then when you heat it up, it becomes pure THC, basically. So smashed the first dab, and literally I could feel it going in, sort of go in through my head, down into my body, and that feeling of like happiness came over me, like a very joyful, happy feeling. I felt my cheeks getting happy, and it was a really good weed experience. You know, like better than just having a joint. It was just so smooth. Um, didn't really get much of a taste out of these things. I must say there wasn't much of a taste to it. Not that I remember anyway. Because it's so pure, I guess there's not much taste going on, but there were terpenes involved, I was told. So there were still like terpenes going on. But yeah, diamonds as well. I don't know if I actually tried the diamonds or not, but the diamonds, fucking looking at that, it's like white, white. It looks like crack, but it's not crack. It's THC. It's the equivalent of THC crack. Dabs are pretty strong, yeah. So I paced myself well with them though. So like, I was aware that I couldn't do any more because they were so fucking strong. So I got to a point where I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to wait a little bit because I'm really fucking stoned at the moment. Yeah, and I was stoned enough. I brought my little journal with me to do some drawings, and I did a little bit of drawing. I drew my ring, this bird ring, and that was nice. So yeah, I managed to actually function enough to do a bit of drawing on the weed, but I got the munchies big time. Luckily, there were biscuits on hand, and he gave me Monkey gave me a cup of tea and a can of mango Rubicon, which was nice to help with the dry mouth, although there wasn't really much dry mouth. But yeah, dabs, man. That's my dabbing experience. So first time doing proper smashing the dabs. Um, really smooth experience. So I highly recommend a dab if you're an aficionado of the weed culture. Get some good high quality dabs and smash them up in your rig, whatever they are, whatever rig you've got. Draco Malfoy to you. Do you think I look like Draco Malfoy? So how's everyone's weed experience been going lately? Like I say, I'm not buying it anymore. So if you want to sponsor me a dab or something, or get me around your place and do some excellent flower, I'll happily do that with you. Come to the Discord if you're not in there already. Accusio, are you in the Discord? Discord's the place to hang out with us. With us lot. Us LC UK lot. Been quite good in Discord recently. Had some new people showing up. Yeah, been there for a while. Cool, cool. Yeah, I thought you were in there. Just don't see very much of you in there. People kind of come and go, you know, just pop in when they feel like a bit of a ghost. A nit of a ghost. A bit of a ghost. So what do you guys want to talk about today? Do you have any dabbing experiences that you want to share? Or some ketamine experiences that you want to share? Some booze experiences that you want to share? And no one really raves about their booze experiences, do they? Or maybe they do. Oh, I got so drunk. I fell over into a ditch. I was found later on in the morning by passers-by in a ditch. I go off the radar and just turn up whenever. No pressure. Yeah, no pressure at all. There's no pressure to say anything in the Discord, absolutely. If there was pressure, I would be getting more angry. Be like, come on, no one's saying anything. But it doesn't get like that. I'm not like that anyway. I do sometimes get frustrated that my long form channel isn't doing as well as it could be. I see these other video channels like with similar subscriber numbers to me and I go, why, oh why, YouTube, have you left my long form in the gutter and you don't promote my videos? Like, you don't give them the impressions they deserve. You need to get impressions to get views. You get impressions and you get the clicks and you get the views. So it comes from YouTube underperforming on my channel. So what can I do? I mean, I make decent content, I guess. These interviews are quite good content wise, interesting stuff, interesting guests, but something's wrong with my long form channel and has been the whole time pretty much. So I don't know, maybe just people aren't just searching for my content. It's not searchable really at the moment. Not enough talk about legalization, maybe, I don't know. It's because I'm not doing medical cannabis reviews. People love a good medical cannabis review on the channels, don't they? That's why there's a difference between my channel and the rest of them, because the rest of them do all medical cannabis reviews and that's where the views are at the moment, because you've got medical cannabis patients wanting to know what's good. Yeah, keep up the interviews. Bigger channels will come across you and help spread the word, I'd imagine. Yeah, hopefully that will come along. Yeah, we've still got a few guests lined up for the LC UK show. Some interesting people to show up still to talk about end cannabis prohibition Jersey. We've got them coming up as soon as we get a proposal out of Jersey, which is this month. Because there's a proposal for decriminalisation going on this month in Jersey that they're going to vote on um, this year, I think. So they could even have decriminalised, proper decriminalisation in Jersey, the island of Jersey. I mean, not New Jersey, but the island of Jersey off the south coast, close to France, actually. Uh, yeah, so that's that. And then we've got VOC Netherlands, which is about ending cannabis prohibition in the Netherlands. And you might think, oh, but they already have ended cannabis prohibition in the Netherlands. Not entirely, because these coffee shops still operate in a grey area where they're not technically allowed to do it by law, but they're tolerated by the authorities. It's like a strange yes you can, no you can't do it at the same time. So obviously they do have a legal supply chain experiment going on in the Netherlands at the moment, and I've heard from VOC Netherlands that the party who was suggesting the full legalization of cannabis actually won the thing. Do you know how you are? Don't know how you are about discussing news, but in the news lately, that train stabbing's being blamed on cannabis psychosis. Again, they blame everything on cannabis psychosis, for goodness sake. Uh, well, I'll have to look into it, but yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe it is, maybe it was cannabis psychosis. I mean, psychosis in general can bring about violence, and then they'll blame the psychosis on cannabis. But would that person have had psychosis anyway? That's the thing. Like, um, cannabis supposedly triggers it, but that it's latent in you anyway. So it might have been that that person would have already been psychotic previously, or would have developed it anyway. So can you really blame the cannabis itself? I don't know. I don't know. I think that the media likes to go on cannabis psychosis rampages. Anytime something like this happens, they always try and blame it on cannabis, and it's probably more complex than that. But what do I know? I'd have to look into what they're saying about it. You see what I'm getting at with the talk about legalization? Yeah, well, I guess the argument goes something like, well, if you legalize it, more people will gain access to it. Then, if more people gain access to it, then more people will get cannabis psychosis. So, legalization is bad. But prohibition is also bad. People who are currently using the illicit market will still be getting cannabis psychosis. So, there's got to be some like balance system where you get the better outcomes around the psychosis somehow. Honestly, the cannabis psychosis thing is the hardest argument to deal with. I think some people are already nutters, and blood, alcohol, or whatever just sets them off. Hello, sir. You look fairly healthy and sober. Yeah, I am. Thanks. If you took away cars, there'd be no car crashes. Well, there you go. The difficulty is we can't seem to eradicate cannabis use by prohibition. Legalization might make it a better scenario for people who use cannabis. It might help them get off it as well if they need to. Heard you talk about wellness harm prevention units. Good ideas, yeah. Hello, Noah Hussein. Yeah, I think for me, it's hard as well because I've had psychosis myself. So the only thing I can think about with legalization is that it does seem to drop teen usage. There's been another report out from Canada, like today or recently, that shows that teen usage of cannabis has actually dropped since legalization in Canada. Teen usage going down means that young people at that early age, where their brains are still developing, getting less access to cannabis, using it less of them using it, that can only be a good thing for their mental health in the long term. So that's one way of fighting the cannabis psychosis thing, is to say, well, if if it starts off because they're using it too young, then you've got the age restriction thing that kind of actually seems to be working somewhat to stop younger people getting access to it. Then it produces better mental health outcomes in the long term, I think. Hello. I'll be honest, I do see a bad side in cannabis, but it's not worse than alcohol, so it should be legal. Hey, bro, welcome back, SK Cotty. I mean, honestly, like, in my life personally, I'm almost willing to walk away from the legalization angle of it and let other people who are more well versed in the subject to do it. Like Steve Rolls puts forward a compelling case for legalization in the recent interview that I did with him, and I feel like I'm sick of arguing with people. I just I don't enjoy arguing with people about legalization anymore. Um, putting forward the arguments as best I can, and it gets kind of repetitive as well and a bit boring. You're just saying the same things over and over again to new people, maybe, yeah. But so what I'll be doing then is just letting other people talk about it from their perspective on the LC UK show, just from my questions, so I don't have to keep going over and over it again, and that can be the content for that angle. I was saying like that there's going to be some new LC UK shorts. Yes, there probably will be, but they're not going to be like anywhere near as frequent as they used to be. So there'll be ones here and there where I come across something that I think is really important to talk about on the LC UK angle. But I think I was enjoying my random shorts about whatever the fuck, just random content about some joke or other I'm trying to make out of a situation, or laughs. When was the last time you smoked cannabis? Yesterday. Yesterday I smoked some dabs. Technically it wasn't smoking them, they're vaporized. I vaporized them. Cannabis. In a bong type device. A rig. A glass rig. And it was a very good experience, although I would have liked to have stayed longer at Monkey's Place because it was such a nice environment. I was feeling quite at home and very chill there. Um, but it didn't last long enough. The high lasted quite a long time. Got in the car and I was like, oh man, I'm in a spaceship. Some futuristic time drive thing, because all the lights are very bright in the dark car. Have I ever been to India? No, I have not. Because you're actually in India now, aren't you? I've not been to India, no. Oh man. Yeah, I just don't feel like as passionate as I used to about legalization. I think I've been worn down by like doing it for so long, and so I'm happy for other people to facilitate other people to speak about it from their point of view. But don't really have anything much to say about it. It's pissing me off arguing with people on TikTok as well. People keep saying the same things about it, and I have to keep saying the same things back to them. So whatever. Are you going to come to India in the future? I don't think so, really. Um, Maybe later on in life when I have a bit of money saved up behind me, but uh, I can't afford it really. I can't afford it at all at the moment. So I am on benefits. There's not much to work with there with benefits. Um, Once you've paid all your bills and bought your food, done a bit of transport to people around you, it's not much left over to save for traveling and stuff. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to save. I mean, I should be able to save more now that I'm off the weed. Um, Whereas things like internet bill, electric bill, water bill, council tax, rent, um, tobacco, food, all mounts up. I'm sure there's other things I'm forgetting as well. Phone bill, I said that, didn't I? So yeah, I don't think I'll be coming to India anytime soon, my bro. Have you ever been to India, people? Who else has been to India before? I'm a little bit distracted by the pictures that are on the screen, so I'll show you what I'm watching. Mushroom visuals. So those are good. Well, that's like all the things I had to say, I think. Check out the interviews with Steve, with Jim the Meadowman. The Jim the Meadowman's the guy with Tourette's, where it shows quite strongly how medical cannabis works for people with Tourette's. Steve Rolls, the drug policy activist campaigner from transformdrugs.org. That's available to watch. Yeah, it's good. It's like an hour long, but he keeps going, Steve, and he's very passionate about the subject. Makes the case in lots of different ways about legalization. Doesn't touch on the psychosis angle though, unfortunately, which I should have kind of tried to bring that in. Yeah, I should have picked up on the psychosis angle because everyone always goes on about that. What do you guys want to talk about, man? How much people have so far signed the petition? Right, good question. Last time I looked, it was 2,100. 2,100 last time I looked at it. So if you're still here and you haven't signed this petition yet, go check it out. If you haven't subscribed yet, so if you put in legalized cannabis use in the petitions thing, legalized cannabis petition, it'll probably come up in Google as the first one. But like I say, I'm just kind of done with it almost. I feel like detached from it somehow. Like I haven't lost hope in it, but I've lost enthusiasm for it. Um, and it's good to know that other people are still working on it instead of me having to do it. So there are people out there who are fighting for this, like Steve, like Peter Reynolds, like UK Cannabis Social Club's bloke Greg de Hoyt, how do you pronounce it? Greg from UK Cannabis Social Clubs. Jimmy Nevsky is also doing his thing, which does involve some legalization talk. So, whatever. It's weird as well because I can't seem to control what I do on my YouTube. How does cannabis help me? Um, I'm not sure it does help me anymore, really. It doesn't really help me because I don't use it very much anymore. So, how does it help me? Well, it just makes me feel happier, I suppose. Temporary happiness is always good. Bit of temporary happiness to cheer you up. Um, so, if I'm ever feeling depressed, a bit of cannabis can help cheer me up. Just takes depression out of the equation somehow. Just kind of removes the depression feeling very basically instantly. So that can happen. But I don't use it for medicinal purposes. I use it for kind of spiritual meditation, self reflection, um, enjoyment, really, like recreational style, spiritual recreational uses. So for fun. How does it help me? It's fun. It's enjoyable. And that's why I've taken this new step back from it as well, so that it is still fun for me to use it. Um, because it wasn't that fun doing it every day. After 5 years of doing it every day, um, I was building up a lot of worry and concern about the law. Um, Finding out it's just kind of like because it's so every day, it's always an opportunity for someone to smell it and report me to the feds. That kind of thing was starting to piss me off, and it wasn't that fun anymore because all the high was taken up by being concerned with the law. So that was my reasons for taking a step back. So, how does cannabis help me? I mean, it used to help me with the flat affect thing, which seems to have gone down now. Flat affect is not as bad as it used to be. I used to have this really kind of flat feeling the whole time and didn't get much joy out of life at all. So that seems to have gone a little bit. I don't know how or why. Maybe I've just come to a point where it's not affecting me anymore or something. Could have healed it. Could be a wound that was healing. Psychological wound that's taken some time to heal over. And I mean, flat affect is a really difficult kind of thing to deal with because it's just constantly there. Flat affect meaning flat emotional spectrum. So I've had more emotions recently about various things. Like I cried when that Jim the Meadow Man interview, when I watched the beginning part of that interview, made me cry. Just something about how powerful it was, and how it helped that person go from a state of suffering and real difficulty expressing themselves and even moving, to being able to function normally and calmly without ticking and vibrating and stuttering and stuff loads. So that was very powerful. It made me cry. So flat affect is not completely flat anymore. I can actually feel something. Yeah. Still focusing on this. How can cannabis help you? How cannabis help you? Well, when I use it, it just helps me feel in touch with God. If there is such a thing as God, it helps me get in touch with it. It certainly takes me to this mystical kind of a mystical feeling comes over me, and it's joyous as well. So it's joyful. I think that about answers that question. Cannabis is a pick me up. I mean, alcohol doesn't really bring happiness. This ketamine stuff didn't bring happiness. But then as soon as I used the weed, I was like, right, that's happiness. Now I see it. The happiness feeling coming in. Start giggling and stuff. Giggling a bit. Yeah, I don't even know if this petition's going to get to. Did you meditate the way I explained? Yes, I tried it. Can't say it really worked per se. I don't know what I was expecting to happen. I mean, just saying Radha Krishna when breathing doesn't really do anything for me, honestly. It would do something for me if I was stoned, probably, because then I'd feel like I was actually getting in touch with Radha and Krishna. But sober meditation, pretty difficult for me. I just find myself snapping out of it very easily. I just go, whoa, just waking up from it kind of thing. Like, meditate with your eyes closed for a bit and go, right, that's it. I've done that. That took 2 minutes. That's the end of the meditation. But trying to get into it longer than that, I find it very difficult to stay in the meditation unless I've got some weed inside me. And if I've got weed inside me, then I can stay in the meditation for a lot longer and enjoy it more. Just feel my body and all that stuff. Pray a bit. Someone walked past me today and said, Jesus loves you. So I took that as a sign from the universe that maybe I should pray to Jesus. So I prayed to Jesus for a new girlfriend. I'll accept a bit of Jesus if Jesus wants to talk to me. Like, out in the blue, randomly while walking down the street at night, someone says, Jesus loves you. It's like, right, I'll take that as a sign from the universe. Apparently Jesus loves me, so I may as well talk to him. Dear Jesus, I said, how you doing? Hey, I love painting. Long time no see. You alright? Still love painting? Hey, Shivsky. Shiva. What if Bruce loves me? Well, there, quite. Then I'll have to pray to Bruce. Bruce the Almighty you're talking about. It's been a while since I painted. Oh, Jesus Christ is very great. I did a tiny drawing yesterday of my ring. Yeah. I was glad I did it though. Came out quite well. In fact, I should go and get the picture of it for you. How does cannabis help you? Gonna have broccoli from breakfast. Ooh, lovely. Well, you can't really see it in there, but it's all covered up by there is a little bird in there. That's my bird ring, but it's got weird stoner talk around it. Colour bird brain the brave. Colour bird brain. Colour bird, I call it. It's my ring, I drew it. I don't know why I bother showing you that, you can't really see anything. You're going to have broccoli from breakfast. What does that mean? You had broccoli for breakfast? Do you mean for breakfast? How you doing? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay, man. Or woman, I don't even know what kind of person you are. Person. How are you doing, person? I'm doing well, yeah. I feel quite okay today. Quite okay. And I might go back at the Legalize campaign. Man, okay, man. Good to see you, man. Back at the Legalize campaign. Yeah, sort of. Like I say, I've kind of given up. I've kind of given up fighting for it, and I'm just sort of letting other people fight for it on our behalf. Like with the LCUK interviews, it's a chance for me to not have to say much. Oh, glad to hear that. I'm good. Right. Yeah, yeah. I'm good. I've had a couple of interesting experiences over the last 2 days, and unfortunately, the ketamine experience I had was a bit short-lived, which is actually good that it was short-lived because it was a bit too intense. But part of me almost wishes that it had been slightly longer so that I can make sense out of it more. You have a great platform. Cool. Yeah, so the LCUK interviews will continue on, but like with regard to shorts and my promotion of the legalized campaign on through shorts, I just feel like because I can't really seem to dictate what I do anyway. I'll say, oh yeah, I'm going to do loads of shorts about LCUK, and when it comes to it, I can't be bothered with it. Um, so there will be some shorts because I do want to cover a couple of like studies on the shorts if I can work out how to present some studies to you without infringing anyone's copyrights or whatever, and I'll do that because I think it's important to get some of these studies out into the open a bit. They don't get much viewership, these studies, I don't think. They're on X. Um, but do people actually read them? I don't know. You find K always unpleasant, like taking medicine, but feel better for it. Yes, see, that's the weird thing. I was like, I got no idea how this helps with depression because it's supposed to be used for depression, right? Ketamine for severe depression. I mean, maybe it could work for severe depression, but I wasn't feeling severely depressed. It didn't make me feel happy. That's the thing. Like, it gave me some realizations that may be true or may just be a figment of the substance, kind of thing. But um, like it was saying, don't fear death because death's not really real. That's not the be all and end all. That's not the total thing of it. You can go beyond death to this third state of consciousness. That's not quite life. It's not quite death. It's a third thing, which is a bit of both. So that was odd. But is that going to help with depression? I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know how the ketamine is supposed to help with depression because it is used for depression, like in the States. But it felt a bit processed as well. There's something processed about the feeling, which was also odd. 100%. Yeah, and it was far too intense as well. If they could somehow make it slow down so that you go from nothing to wobbling, or whatever you want to call it, stoned off ketamine, tripping balls was probably the better way of putting it. If you go from nothing to tripping balls over a period of like 2 hours rather than 5 minutes, that would be good. Perception of time isn't linear, so when you die, your perception could just slow down. Yeah, I mean, it seemed to confirm the idea of like reincarnation, the ketamine experience, because I went off like I was saying earlier on, if you check the earlier part of the video where I described the trip, I was sat in this chair and my awareness became vast, big, giant feeling, and I was miles away behind my experience, watching it all, sat there, unable to really do much in my body per se, because I wasn't really able to control my body very well. I could do meditation, I could speak a little bit, so I did try and do some prayer by talking to the deity, and yeah, but he couldn't really say much back to me. I was hoping to get some hallucinations of the deity talking to me, but sadly it didn't really happen. I thought maybe you could kind of like get the little Buddha statue to sort of start mouthing to me with the hallucination, but I couldn't get it to work. Possibly the wrong type of substance for that, but maybe something like mushrooms would help with that, possibly. Because mushrooms, his face was melting, so that could be a communication. I do try and, every time I get high on a substance, I do try and connect with the deity and see if that works to enhance the meditation or enhance the experience. Just because some of these things are kind of spiritual, you know? So I brought my Buddha along yesterday to the dab session with Monkey UK the Zoo. Check out his channel. He's got a channel with like, he shows dabs and stuff, if that's what you're into. Yes, let's show you what I'm looking at now. Sorry, 1 second. There we go. Mushroom visual trips. These are actually really good to watch while tripping, you know, because they really synchronize with your brain waves, whatever state of mind you're in while tripping on some kind of shrooms or something. This fits in really well, the morphing and stuff. Yeah, it's cool. So that's what I'm looking at when I keep looking away from the camera. Trippy, how are you doing? I love painting. Haven't seen you about on the channel much, so catch me up. What's been going on? Who did I interview last? I interviewed Steve Rolls. Steve Rolls. Like Rolls Royce, he said. Steve Rolls Royce. Steve Rolls from transformdrugs.org. Which was a really banger of an interview if you watch it. It lasts for an hour, but it just goes by really fast because this guy is keeping you entertained with his interesting comments about legalization of drugs and specifically cannabis. No, you moved to Barcelona, I see. So you're in Barcelona now? Loving it. You got some cannabis clubs nearby? Social clubs or whatever? Right now I'm in Serbia because Brexit, yay. Okay. What does that mean? You have to move out of Barcelona and move back in or something, like take a dip out every now and again. You have to leave the country and reinsert yourself. All the way from Serbia, watching it live. Pretty much. Okay. Well, good to have you still here, man. Anyway, it's getting to that time again. It's a whole thing. Will be sorted soon. Cryptic. I've read a book, Science of Self-Realization by Sri Prabhupada. Yep, it helped me understand what is the real purpose of human beings. We've got this gift of life as a human being. Serbia is a bit mad, lots of protests at the moment. Yeah, well, there's been loads of protests in the UK as well. So many protests on lots of different subjects, but there's been a few riots as well. So it's all mad. It's gone mad. The UK's gone mad. Fireworks going on. Right, that's my hour done, people. I've put my time in. subscribe if you're not subscribed already, but I presume there's only 3 of you here, so I presume you're already subscribed. Yeah, that would do. I told you about my ketamine experience. I struggle to be in the UK, to be honest. Fair play to you. Yeah, I don't know about staying here or moving away. I was thinking of like moving away for my weed, but now I've quit weed, so I don't know if I need to move away anymore. Hmm. Swings and roundabouts, fish and 2 eggs, potatoes and butter. Right, everyone. This universe does have great wonders. I wonder if they'll be down the pub tonight. Gonna go off to the pub, see what live music they've got playing on, have a couple of beers, like 2 beer limit, I think. 2 beers maximum, and then go home. Just so that I've seen some people put my face about a bit, try and attract a new lovely lady into my life somehow. I think I just got to develop that in-person confidence again, you know. I find that in conversations in the pub, I go a bit mute and I don't know what to say. Like, on my channel, I'm fine with saying whatever the fuck and just making stupid comments and talking to you guys live and just monologuing a bit. But I've become more of a listener in the pub, and I think it's because the people don't know me very well at all. If you don't know me from Adam, then there's a lot of stuff I probably have to get off out of the way to make a connection. Like, I have schizophrenia, I don't work, I run a YouTube channel, I believe in cannabis legalization, I believe in drug legalization. That's what I do day to day. I try and make comedy stuff, and people go, "Oh yeah, you try and make comedy stuff. Tell us a joke, then tell us a joke." So can't really say that off the top of the conversation because I don't have jokes. I just say random funny stuff. Occasionally that gets some amusing. Girls love a listener though. Well, yeah, my previous partner did love a listener because she spoke for hours and hours and hours on end sometimes. In fact, most of the time. So I was a very good listener. Talk about your music. You are very talented with the guitar. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to be getting a new guitar soon as well. Woohoo! Can't wait. Can't wait for a guitar that I can actually play a bit better. This one's alright, but something about it still hurts my hands a bit after playing it, you know? Girls love a talker and listener combined, right? And Zifa's back. Well, I've lost the rhythm to it now. Fuck. Ding 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 ding. Okay, I got it now. Right, everyone. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you being there on the lives. I'll be going out to the pub now. So catch you later. See you on the next one, 7 p.m. Not going to be on tomorrow, but I doubt anyone will notice. Thanks, man. Have a good one. Usually there will be at 7 o'clock every day, but not tomorrow because I'm going to my dad's for dinner. So can't do it. I'll be otherwise engaged. Good night, everyone. Good night. Oh, press button. Good night.